I want to tell you about this reporter who decided to see what kids can get away with. Asia Grace, a New York Post reporter, decided to make 2 fake accounts on TikTok and see exactly what would happen. Where would the algorithm take her? Posing as a 14-year-old boy named Jaden and a 14-year-old girl named Tiffany. And Asia is here with us right now. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Adrienne. Thank you for having me.
You know, TikTok CEO is saying that they desire to appease their 150 million American users, that they have plans in place to actually protect children from getting direct messaging, because a lot of what happens on social media is creepos contacting children who are underage or just anyone with illicit content. But you didn't even try. You allowed your account to be passive. What happened?
100%. And in this investigation, the goal was never to communicate with any other human or to convince any human that I was actually a teenager or a child online. It really was to see how TikTok and YouTube algorithms funneled content to Gen Zs. And it was shocking to find that there was so much misogyny, racism, violence, just you name it, that a 14-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl was just had complete access to, was fed while they scrolled.
I'm reading this New York Post article as we speak, and basically you get on the app and within 60 seconds, you already have videos, and this is for the boy that you were pretending to be, and all for the case of this investigation. You were bombarded with images of videos of girls twerking in mini shorts. Now, some people can say, oh, it's 2023. These boys can see that anywhere. These girls can see that anywhere. But were you surprised at all by the kinds of content, by the level of content that you received as a 14-year-old?
Unfortunately, that was the more benign content, the twerking, and yes, that is kind of the world we live in. But I did think it was a bit excessive. And if I wasn't being a 14-year-old boy, could older gentlemen, older women see young girls twerking in their pajamas in their bathrooms or bedrooms? I think that's dangerous in and of itself. Mm-hmm. But when it came to being Jaden, shortly after the twerking video subsided or became fewer, there were a lot of videos just promoting violence against women. This wasn't the lighthearted honeymooners, Ralph Cramden moment where he might have said, one of these days to the moon, and even that could have been problematic in and of itself. No, this was popular influencers and figures telling young boys that essentially they have a biological right to call their girlfriends out of their names, use the B word, and threaten them with physical violence, and even to the extent of threatening to murder them with machetes. So it went from what people might excuse as lighthearted or fun dance videos to murdering women, which I thought was insane within minutes.
I have to ask you this question on the other side in a sense, because I think we would all agree that we want our kids to, be in a safe space when they use online apps, but we are in a free world. And the fact of the matter is that companies, whether it be TikTok, we had familiar conversations just like this one about Facebook and Instagram last year. The fact is that can corporations be held responsible for the kinds of videos that are posted in a world where you can post pretty much anything and get away with it? Or should this be something where parents are more educated about the dangers of social media? Because at the end of the day, it's going to be the decision inside the heart and mind of a kid with what they put their eyes and their attention on.
100%. And I mean, as a millennial, getting on the internet was an extreme sport for me. You had to unplug the phone and listen to AOL's dial-up and do all of these, different machinations just to get on AIM and talk to your friends. And there was danger there. And now these kids have complete, unfiltered, unsolicited access to the world at their fingertips. So, we can't unring the bell of social media. As you mentioned, platforms are, pretty much anyone can post whatever they like. It is somewhat incumbent on the parent to maybe have conversations with their children about the influencers they're following, the accounts they're watching, and the content they're engaging with. And it doesn't have to be an interrogation. It can be informal over dinner, over a basketball game, but it needs to be done.
Yeah, you need to talk. Impressive investigation. Thank you so much, Asia. And also impressed that you know who the honeymooners are as a millennial. I'm impressed. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.